Alright, here's number 2, and you notice that these variables are going to cancel each other out whenever I combine these equations. And so now my equation, whenever I combine, I have 2y's plus 1y, that's going to be 3y's, equals, whenever I combine a positive 3 and a negative 2, this is going to be a positive 1. And then I'm going to divide the left side by 3, divide the right side by 3, and I've got y equals 1/3, so that is half my answer. And I'm going to pick any one of these equations, and I'm going to pick the, it doesn't matter which one, I'm going to just pick the first one because I think that'll be easiest. So I've got x, let me see what it is, plus 2y equals 3. And I'm going to use substitution. I know that y equals 1/3, so I'm going to plug 1/3 in for y. And my equation looks like this, and I'll color code it so that you can see what it looks like, what's being subbed in. And so 1/3 and for and for y. And now this is, we're about to do a whole bunch of 6th grade review because we're going to have to be able to multiply fractions and then later add and subtract fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that 2 into a fraction, 2 over 1, so I can multiply. So whenever you're multiplying fractions, you multiply numerators together and denominators together. So whenever I do that, I've got 2 times 1, see 2 times 1 is going to equal 2, and then 1 times 3 is going to equal 3. So I've got 2/3 there, equals 3. And now what I'm going to do is I want x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2/3 on this side, and then I'm going to have to subtract 2/3 on the right side. Now this is a review on subtracting fractions, and there's several ways you can go about doing this, but one thing that you have to have is a common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all turn 3 into a fraction, and the way I do that is, let me give myself some room, I'm going to write it 3 over 1 because that's the same as 3. And this is a common way that 6th grade teachers teach about subtracting fractions. They set it up like this, and they say, what is a common denominator between 1 and 3? What's a number that both 1 and 3 will go into? And the correct answer is the lowest common denominator would be 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 over here. And then you ask yourself, what do I multiply 3 times in order to get 3? And the correct answer is 1. So I multiply 3 times 1, and I get 3. So that means I multiply the numerator by 1, and I'm at 2 times 1 equals 2. It doesn't change. Now the next one is, what do I multiply 1 times in order to get 3? And the answer to that is, I multiply 1 times 3, and that'll give me 3. And so I have to multiply the numerator times the same amount, so times 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. So now I'm able to subtract these. Now I'm going to bring down this x because we can't forget that guy. So we've got x equals, I'm going to keep my common denominator, which is 3, and I'm going to subtract numerators because this is a positive 9/3, and this is a negative 2/3. So if the signs are different, you subtract. So 9 minus 2 is going to be 7. So I've got 7/3, and it is a positive 7/3. And the reason why is because I have more positives than negatives. So I believe I'm done. Let's see. Yeah, I've figured out both answers. So I've got x equals 7/3, and I've got y equals 1/3. So if I was going to put this into a coordinate pair, because that's how you'll see your answer a lot, I've got x is 7/3, and I'm cool with you leaving it as an improper fraction for now. And then y equals 1/3. So y is 1/3. And there's my solution right there.